Hello there, welcome to Bryan Lomax Movie Talk and my ranking of the Jurassic Park / World franchise. 5 films now. Just been to see the new one. We'll find out very shortly where it sits in my ranking, giving my thoughts on that as well, as briefly as possible. 5 films. I'm going to start with the worst, work my way up to the best. First film on this list, that is what I consider to be the worst of the bunch, is Jurassic Park III. This is the film that first not to be directed by Steven Spielberg, of course. Joe Johnston took over. Joe Johnston is a director that I actually quite like. He's done a few films that I really admire. This isn't really one of them. I've never taken to Jurassic Park 3 all that well, to be honest. I liked the fact that we got Sam Neill back. I always thought he was kind of the main character in the first film. I know Jeff Goldblum's character got a lot more love. I think people just really took to that character. So he for some reason ended up being the obvious choice for the first sequel. But yeah, I'm glad they went back to Sam Neill for this and kind of delved into his character a bit more. I just don't think they did a particularly good job of it. I think that the special effects are a lot worse than the original, and this came sometime after that first film, so given that progression of time, effects should improve, not devalue, and here I feel like they do. Even the physical stuff in this, it looks a bit clunky at times. The dinosaur kind of work that is going on, the design of it, particularly the new dinosaur, I can't remember the name of it, but they have this one that supposedly goes up against T-Rex, can defeat T-Rex, which is a bit bizarre considering this is the first we're hearing of it, up until this point in the franchise, T-Rex has been the daddy of them all, and then all of a sudden, oh, but there is this one other one that, whatever. For me as well, like all of the Jurassic Park films except this one tend to kind of escalate, so the stakes get higher as the film goes on, and then you have a pretty big showdown at the end where everything just goes off, and I kind of like that. This one it feels like it fizzles out. It feels like it just about gets to a point where it's going to get exciting, where it's going to get going. We're in this, do you call it an aviary? I could be getting that wrong. Where the big birds are, the pterodactyls and all that. And then it just kind of stops. They get out and it just stops. It feels somewhat anticlimactic for me. It feels a bit rushed. I think there are entertaining moments, as there are in all the Jurassic Park films. Once certain things are happening, there's a bit of tension there, and people, it turns into a chase movie as they all do. Yeah, but just doesn't float my boat that much. What can I say? Number 4, we've got Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. That's it, the new film. I was watching this today, as it happens. Just before recording this video, and man, is this a dumb film? It is dumb. People in this do the dumbest of things, and it's just that formula as well has now just set in so rigidly that there are times in this that, despite what is happening on screen, volcanoes, lava flying down, dinosaurs running about, people getting eaten, I'm actually quite switched off to it. There are some moments in the film that kind of get the adrenaline going. It feels a bit like a theme park ride, which is quite ironic given the concept of the original film. And I think if you treat this film with that kind of mindset, then you may find a lot more to enjoy in this than most. But if you're wanting some kind of social commentary, that we have had in a couple of these, then you're probably not going to find it. I think Bayona, the director, tries, and he can be very good. This is the guy who brought us The Orphanage, The Impossible, my favourite film of his, When a Monster Calls, which is a really beautifully made film. Like when I saw his name attached to this, that actually got me excited, despite the trailers not really doing that much for me. But yeah, what can I say? It's a bit of a disappointment. Even the characters that I liked in Jurassic World, the Colin Trevorrow directed film, I kind of don't like as much here. I've kind of switched off to them. Basically, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen this film. They've left no surprises in this film based on that trailer. Also, if you've seen the amount of screen time that Jeff Goldblum gets in that trailer, you've pretty much seen the amount of screen time he gets in the film. Yeah, they pulled him in essentially for one scene that's been broken up into two and pushed to either side of the film, just so they can stick him in the trailer and entice people in who are excited by the prospects of Goldblum coming back. But it's just, yeah, it's a false thing. It's a red flag. It's whatever you want to call it. It's not enough. Buffalo Bill is in this. I can't remember his name. The name of the actor who played Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. Someone I think is incredibly underrated. He gets a moment in this. Like throughout this, he's that typical douchebag hunter guy that we've kind of had in a few of these movies. He's meant to be a bit of a villain, but there's a moment when I genuinely feel sympathy for him. And that's not because of how it's written, it's because of how he plays it. He, in this one moment, he gets me, and it's with his performance. Yet again, proving his talent as an actor. Toby Jones in a really bad wig, and Toby Jones kind of, quite frankly, needs a moustache to twirl in this film. He's terrible in this. I love Toby Jones. I've seen Toby Jones in a lot of films. I've always liked him. I just did not care for him here at all. There's this storyline that goes on with this kid, and James Cromwell plays her father. This kind of family dynamic going on there, and what's the secret behind her mother? Who is her mother? And yeah, again, not interested. I'm not gripped by it. I'm not interested. There's, like I said, there's a lot of pyrotechnics. There's a lot of dinosaurs chomping on people, and a lot of action and people running around. Some of it is thrilling, some of it is entertaining, but a lot of it is just plain stupid. There's a moment when this dinosaur, there's this one that's been genetically engineered, which is like really powerful. It hits with its head, full force, runs right at it, hits the door to one of them, them lifts that send food down, in these mansions and that. We have servants and they put food on a train, it sends down. This girl gets in one, closes the door, the dinosaur hits it full on, nothing. I'm sorry, but those doors are not that strong. They're not like reinforced steel or anything. They're flimsy wooden doors. That dinosaur would have gone straight through it. Not buying it. There's also a lot of scenes in this film where they go for tension, even though there isn't any. It's at a time when, really, if you were that person, you'd be like, run your ass off in that direction. Seriously, get going, get your legs moving, move it right now. But instead, they do this thing where they'll be looking like that, and they'll slowly turn round, and it's all for tension. And it's like, we don't need that. We know there's a big ass dinosaur after that person. We know the damage they can do. Just run. Any sensible person right now would run. So yeah, moments like that where it's all staged for the camera to build a particular emotion. There's some moments in this as well that are supposed to be emotional because of the whole family side of things and the way that attitudes towards dinosaurs and conservation and all that. And again, they don't really hit all that well. It's only talking about it now that I'm actually wondering if I should put this beneath Jurassic Park 3. I think they're on a par, I've got to say. I think Jurassic Park 3 is definitely stronger in the script department, but I've just never warmed to it. There's stuff in here that, yeah, sod it. I changed my mind. Okay, yeah, this is number 5. Jurassic Park 3 is instantly getting bumped up to number 4, but whichever way you cut it, I've just talked myself into re-evaluating my list. I've got it just off camera there. I've thought about it before doing this video. I've got them all lined up, ready to go. And talking about Fallen Kingdom has literally made me bump it down. So, yeah. Fallen Kingdom, number 5. Jurassic Park 3, number 4. What's number 3? Well, I'm going to have to go with Spielberg's own sequel to his original movie, The Lost World Jurassic Park. This, when I was a kid, was my favourite one. Of the first 3, yeah, this was my favourite. Going into my teenage years as well. I was quite a late teenager when the third one came out. But, as a kid, this was awesome. It was just non-stop action from start to finish. And the way that Spielberg shoots that action is typically brilliant, you know. Like I say, escalates to ridiculous heights at the end when this T-Rex is loose in the city. And I loved it. It's only as an adult revisiting it, you realise just how dumb a lot of things are in it, just how stupid some of the stupid decisions that characters make. Again, you'd be running in the opposite direction. There's one character who goes down into this ship to almost like he's after a cat, you know, trying to get this baby dinosaur, and you're just thinking, what on earth, you know, this big ass T-Rex coming down behind him as if he wouldn't hear that, you know, quietly creeping it. But loads of stuff like that throughout the film, where as an adult you're kind of looking at it and you're going, how did I not see that as a child? How did I not realise how dumb, how stupid that is? Yeah, it's just not on the same level as the original film, and again, that's all down to the script. Like I say, Spielberg's direction is top notch. He handles the tension brilliantly. There's a lot of moments where you're literally on the edge of your seat, and that's what this film is good for. It's good for as a roller coaster ride, a theme park ride, but when it comes to seriously getting to grips with the material and telling a story in a way that, yeah, feels fresh and vibrant and clever, more to the point, it kind of fails somewhat. Yeah. Lost World. Not sure I've got much more to say about it than that. Number 2, we've got Colin Trevorrow's Jurassic World. So the start of what he was hoping to be a new trilogy. I'm assuming they're going to continue and make another one. These movies don't really show much signs of slowing down. It's a rehash, isn't it? This is essentially the Force Awakens of the Jurassic Park series. They take new characters and they essentially do the same thing. They put them in practically the same story. You know, there's a lot of correlations, but it's just not as good. Although it doesn't do what The Force Awakens does, because I actually preferred The Force Awakens over A New Hope. You know, a lot of people say, oh, it's just a remake. It's a remake that does it better. Yeah? For me personally, that's The Force Awakens. This, on the other hand, isn't. It's a remake. It rehashes a lot of the stuff, but it's kind of not a remake as well, because it's its own thing, but it just doesn't do it as well. That's the problem. You know, I can handle rehash. You know, I can handle when you're going to repeat yourself a bit, but you have to improve. You have to take what's gone before and make it better if you're going to go over old ground. And this, quite simply, just doesn't do it. Still a good film, still very entertaining, I think, in many ways. It's certainly not as dumb as the new one, but yeah, just can't beat that original, man. Just can't. There's a lot of entertaining things in it. I like the new dinosaur that they brought, which I can't remember. There's quite a few new ones actually. That huge thing in the water as well that does make a return in the Fallen Kingdom. Some bits in the trailer for the Fallen Kingdom as well, where you're kind of expecting more big moments to come, but no, it's just the stuff that's in the trailer, nothing after that. And I'm thinking about this particular dinosaur when I say that. But yeah, it's entertaining. I like the characters in this. I like Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard in this, despite the whole shoes debacle. You know, there's a lot of them funny videos in which she's running with the shoes and everyone's running with high heel shoes on. That was quite amusing. But I like the characters in this film. I like their dynamic. I like the chemistry between them. And there's a lot of good action scenes in it. It's handled well. It's just not quite as good as the first, which obviously brings me to my number one choice, which is that first Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg's original Jurassic Park, based on the book by Michael Crichton. And just, yeah, it's a perfect summer blockbuster. I never got to see this at the cinema way back when. This was 1993, I think. Yes, 93. And I had to go and watch Last Action Hero because all my friends had already seen Jurassic Park, didn't want to watch it again, and I ended up watching Last Action Hero, which I hated for the longest time, and I think was mostly because it stole me away from Jurassic Park, which I really wanted to watch. So I didn't get to see this until it came on video a year or two later, but I loved it. I think everyone does. It's a perfectly handled summer blockbuster, like I say. It's got some nice kind of social commentary in there as well, about man playing God, about man meddling with things that he shouldn't be meddling with. There's the whole famous speech by Jeff Goldblum about just the idea that we always asked if we could, but we never stopped to ask if we should, and that's really the thesis for all of these films, and that comes up again in the new one, and it's quite more heavy-handed, I think, in the new one. But yeah, brilliant film, and the special effects, even today, hold up, are even better, I think, than stuff that's in the new ones, but yeah, there ain't a right lot more I can say about Jurassic Park that hasn't already been said, other than that, it's if you're looking for a summer blockbuster, this is one of the best you're going to find on record. So there you go, that is my ranking of all the movies in this franchise. But what about you? 1, how would you rank them? 2, what do you think of my choices? And let me know what you think of a new film in particular as well. Leave your comments down below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, crack it.